All right, so we're gonna open with a clip.
Wait. Listen.
No, not now. Anytime but now.
It's a clicker!
Hey,
Hello and welcome to the Worst Movie Ever Made, experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you and why are we doing this?
not great. It's the day after Christmas, so we're scrambling to bring our home back to the pre-Thanksgiving quality it was without the Christmas tree and the elf on a shelf and all that mystical, wonderful bullshit that the kids are into.
Yeah.
It being a day after Christmas, we decided to watch Christmas Story 2, which I don't know why it exists. I don't know what audience it's for. I don't know who funded it. I don't know who wrote it. I didn't look up anything about this movie out of spite. I'm going to speak from my heart and shoot from the hip all for the next hour and a half. Bob, would you like to describe this movie?
I would like to. I'm just going to tell you from a fact or no fact standpoint, there is nothing about this movie to research. Like, there's nothing out there. There's no interviews. There's no articles. There's no reviews. People just wanted to pretend like it didn't exist.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That made Bob's job harder.
Is there still a bumper for this segment?
Oh,
yeah.
I was supposed to play that. Whoopsies. We're new here, guys. It's our first day. Here.
Let's get a little groovy and have Bob explain the movie. So for your consideration, here's Bob's alliteration.
All right.
All right. Gratuitous, garish, gags, and gobbledygook. I feel like you guys have used gobbledygook before, and I feel like I had to use it.
That's a great word.
So the movie is about Ralphie and Randy and Mom and the old man. They return to many retellings of the same exact gags from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Ralphie's wish for a car and a girl and money, all of which come to fruition because that's what people want.
I guess.
No one wanted this, Bob.
No one wanted any of this. But once they started watching, God, I don't know. This was awful.
Could you imagine if TNT picked this up and played this for 24 hours every Christmas instead to try to recoup their loss?
There'd be a riot. There'd be a riot in the streets.
Yeah.
Not a laugh riot. Yeah, the
No.
more violent kind.
Yes.
All right, let's throw it to YouTube.
Yeah. The Worst Movie Ever Made presents YouTube comments made by people who clearly have daddy issues.
my father!
Okay. So this first comment opens with a quote that's attributed to Ruthless Reviews, an unwatchable kick in the nuts to the greatest Christmas movie ever. And then the person added their own commentary. My son insisted we watch this as we watch the original every Christmas. Replace the BB gun with a car and throw in a teen romance. It was terrible. Next comment, I really wanted to like this. I'm such a fan of the original, and I was ready to give this a true shot. The acting is so overdone, it's ridiculous. The mom, dad, Randy, Ralphie, etc., all of them acting so over the top that it's like a high school play. The music score is kind of cheesy, too. The premise behind the story is cute and had definite potential. What's with Ralphie's yellow hair? They couldn't do a more natural-looking blonde? Luckily, I only paid a couple bucks to rent this. I heard the real sequel, in quotes, was released last year. I'm willing to give that one a shot. At least it uses some of the real characters. Next comment. I'm so mad I rented this one and not the A Christmas Story Christmas, where the actor who played Ralphie is all grown up. I guess I'll watch this one and be pissed I rented the wrong movie, and then I'll treat myself to the right one. I also heard that one wasn't great, but that's another conversation. All the people bitching about this, the last comment, there's a call and a response. All the people bitching about this show have no sense of humor. This is an excellent show, and the only reply is, are you high?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. That person must have been.
Yes.
Like 24/7. All right, test number one, the worst of its kind.
Salami. The worst of its kind.
All right, well, we mentioned it already, but it's only natural. We go to Christmas Story with Peter Billingsley in '89. The Parent Trap with Haley Mills.
Too high.
A 90. Too high. Love that movie.
Both too high.
Well, maybe, yeah. For the second one. Big with Tom Hanks in 98. Too high there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A classic movie, but 98. Goddamn. Matilda. I put Danny DeVito because he's like the big name. 92.
Yeah.
And a movie that we've done, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, is 73. Where can they find that, Rob?
www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
Yeah, it's definitely too high. I agree. An average of a staggering 88.4. How do you think Christmas Story 2 did?
I think you should have thrown Jurassic Park into the average to fuck it up the numbers, but 7.
I'm gonna go. So I decided that Rob always bases his numbers on the YouTube comments. I'm gonna base my number on my rating, and I'm gonna say 0.
Unrated, unfortunately. The audience score of 36. So when that happens, I average them out for an 18.
Okay.
The average was 88.4, you might remember. So a negative 70.4.
Wow.
And by far the worst of its kind. That I jotted down already, so we can throw it directly to test number 2. Ain't that a bitch?
Excuse me, madame. May I have a little kiss, please? A little kiss, please. Come on. Come on. Whoop.
Ain't that a bitch?
I'll go first. You go first. How about Chris, me, and then you, Bob? Because I think you guys have gone first. I'll do the second sandwich.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not super thrilled with mine, so I wanted to go first. Just get it out of the way. A sequel to the fabled A Christmas Story, only this one is not funny and really boring. An audience they didn't earn, featuring Daniel Stern. After this, there is no franchise restoring.
All right.
Good.
Ralphie thinks a new car is a birthright. He wants a specific make and model, even though money's tight. He gets a job at a department store. His dad ice fishes till his bum is sore. And then his dad buys him the new car anyway, meaning that nobody learned anything and this movie is a fucking piece of shit.
All right.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. There once was a film that feels like it was made of plastic. Just endless amounts of callbacks and slapstick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the one to say it first. Compared to the original, it's worse. Whoever greenlit this deserved to have their ass kicked.
Bob, 5.
Okay, Bob, 5. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
Test number 3, the most offensive.
I thought mine was bad.
You know what though? Yours captured it captured the grievance in a way that Chris and I didn't, and I think you brought it home. All right, most offensive.
Oh my God!
All of you are not the most important thing.
To be as offensive as possible.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh right.
My father.
My father.
Number 5, Scummy and Salacious Santa.
Yes.
Yeah. For no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's lazy. I've seen it a million times. It wasn't funny. It was just offensive and dumb.
Yeah.
I hated it.
It did it better in Bad Santa, which wasn't even that good.
Yeah, it's good. It's not great. Number 4, patting a perfumed pair of puppies. I don't know which one this was. A Flick or other guy. What was?
They
the
don't
other
matter.
guy?
They're interchangeable
Schwartz.
goons.
Schwartz. That's right.
Schwartz and Flick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was Schwartz. Like accidentally poured a bottle of perfume all over this woman's breasts and was patting it down for funnies, and it wasn't funny. It was just offensive.
Assault.
It was titillating.
It was just sexual assault in a public setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And pairing with that, in the same exact little like vignette going on, Flick, I think, is trying to put heels on a woman. And I wrote number 3, Heavyset high top hilarity. This Flick couldn't get the shoe onto this woman because she was too heavy, and that was supposed to be really funny. And it was just dumb.
Yeah. Because like
right,
with with fat people and like waistlines, I understand the confusion, but like, you don't really have fat feet. You know, it's just whatever size they are is the size they are. You know.
Plus, you could just get a bigger shoe.
Yeah,
Besides, it's not going on. Go get the next size.
Right.
Yeah,
and
get
that's
little,
the thing.
the
Women don't
thing.
like to admit they have a higher shoe size. That's the thing.
Well, that means they have bigger dicks, Bob.
Number 2, sneaking subtle Drusilla sniffs. So,
yeah.
What's his face? Ralphie is in like band, and he's crashing cymbals behind his, love, and he's sniffing her hair. But they go a step further. He's then dreaming about, getting with her. And as they end the dream sequence, he's still crashing the cymbals. And I think it's a masturbation joke because he's like really crashing them together, and it's like he's coming to some kind of apex as he's celebrating.
It's like it's the climax of the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not great. Number 1, and I've done this recently, but number 1 is not exactly something in the movie, but a regrettable recasting and resetting. Nothing about this movie is like the original except for the pandering.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. Which is the most offensive part to me. They all they've done is gotten the name.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's a completely unconnected, disconnected movie. Yeah, a farce. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it really bothered me. I mean, Daniel Stern as the old man might be the worst one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he got younger. And he's not like a serious character anymore. But we'll get more into that in the catch-all. For now, why don't we throw it to Rob's ad read?
Go down to Marie Callender's. Get me a big bowl. Pie. Some ice cream on it. Good. Put some on your head. Your tongue would slap your brains out trying to get to it. Interested?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by the January bill cycle. Christmas is over, the tree is in the dumpster, the kids got everything that was written in their letters to Santa, but they traded all for just a little more. Speaking of more, have you checked the interest rates on those Affirm specials? Better stay on top of that shit, bucko. And for dinner, hot dogs at 3 a.m. for the foreseeable future. Extension cords are under the bed, and throwing the new air fryer into the bathtub sounds quite tempting. Happy Boxing Day! Oh yeah, taxes are due in a couple of months. Eat shit.
All right, thank you for that uplifting ad read.
Jesus Christ, so
Merry fucking Christmas.
Why don't we throw it to test number 4, the worst dialogue?
Yeah.
Bad dialogue may include something like,
he's in there every night. His damn gang selling that stupid cocaine.
Stupid cocaine.
All right, let's start light with number
5.
This is Mr. President.
Well, just so you know, I'm pretty sure any prison stretch would be minimal.
And if you got on a chain gang, you wouldn't have to sit in your cell all day. Wouldn't hurt to ask. Wait a second. It's Christmas, right? Higby's will hire anybody on Christmas. We'll go tomorrow. That's the ticket, guys. Getting jobs. We'll work our butts off 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day? I can't wait. Yes.
Hank was right. Determination got things done. I'd be the kind of part-time holiday help that legends are made of.
My fellow Americans, we are here today to honor an exceptional young man, Ralph Parker. Once again, you have set the gold standard for your thousands of fellow workers to follow. Please accept this token of your country's esteem and my personal congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President.
What was wrong with that?
The chain gang prison sentence jokes were not funny to start.
Yeah.
He goes over to the painting or the picture of him with Santa Claus as a kid, and I thought he was going to ask Santa for the money, which might have been funny because
that would have been way
old enough to
funnier.
know,
He's like 20, he's like 16.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But why would his friends work to pay off his debt?
I was gonna bring that up in the catch-all. I was like, dude, if I ever got into a snag, if I broke someone's window playing baseball in their backyard, I wouldn't call you up, Chris, as like a middle schooler or a high schooler, and be like, hey, Chris, I'm in a real jam. You want to get a part-time job with me and help me pay for this window I broke that you had nothing to do with?
Yeah, exactly.
You would tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, they told him not to get in the car in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they would do that, but also the FDR like president dream thing that they did was buckets of dumb.
It was lame. It was lame.
Yeah, super. So let's move it on to number 4. This is Drusilla Gutrat.
Formal education had to wait. Being not quite 16 meant that every discussion revolved around only one of 2 topics. There were cars, of course. And then, oh yes, and then, there were them. Drusilla Gutrat. My sweet Drusilla. Beauty incarnate. The hands-down heartthrob of home and high. I didn't stand a chance with her. No one did. Unless you were a quarterback by the name of Todd Chapin. A feat which would require developing strikingly chiseled features and then beating Elkhart Lutheran on the final play with a 60-yard bomb. The rest of us, those wretched souls who couldn't throw or catch or leap or shoot, would have to settle for being with her in our dreams.
Now then, you will share with us the location of the resistance fighters? Perhaps I could help to refresh your memory.
Keep in mind, this whole story is told in hindsight like the original Christmas Story, so this is like an 80-year-old man talking about a 16-year-old girl, probably beating off vigorously while leaning over a typewriter.
Which is hard to do because you gotta like stroke the keys in between stroking something else. Trading off hands and stuff.
Yeah.
And then sending the thing back if it's a typewriter. Like, bing, ding. One thing that's very nitpicky for me that I just have to throw out because it bothered me. He called her a heartthrob, which I thought was a term only reserved for boys, like teenage
I think it
boys.
is.
Yeah,
like Dylan Farnham from Doug. Remember Dylan Farnham?
Yeah, I do. Did he have purple hair?
I don't know, but whenever Doug changed his outfit so he wouldn't look like him, Dylan Farnham would have a similar look, and everybody thought Doug was trying to copy Dylan Farnham. And then he has a nervous breakdown and has to meditate with Judy. It was a whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Poor Doug. Todd Chapin and Drusilla Gutrat are not people. They're not believable names.
No, they're not.
In the words of George Carlin, these are not real names.
Chip.
Then to be Todd Chapin, you have to achieve the feat of having chiseled features.
Mm-hmm.
Hit
the gym.
The other wretched souls have to be that can't shoot and throw and whatever. And then instead of doing a dream sequence where he is a sports star, like I thought that they would, because he was just talking about being not one, they do some weird army thing where he jumps in to rescue her. It's
more than an army thing. It's a Nazi thing.
Yeah, it was. Like, you're right.
It was very specific.
Yeah,
it was. But I think it was. I think they figured if they had a sports arena, they'd have to fill it with extras. If they did a Nazi thing, they could just have one guy do a German accent in the back room and call it.
You could just find like 4 guys on Reddit who are really down to play Nazis.
All right, enough for number 4. Let's move it to number 3. This is You Told Him.
What was that all about?
I just think you can go a little easier on them, that's all.
Excuse me. I've been delighting children for 19 years. Don't you step on my turf.
No. We should hold Santa to a higher standard. I mean, you're taking the spirit out of it.
You want dispirited? Come spend the day at my house. Yeah, get off your line ass and make some money. Yeah, so she can spend it on punch boards and cheap gin. That's dispirited.
I want to see him now. Me too, fat stuff.
Come on, Ralph. This guy's hopeless. Let's keep it moving. Ralphie's entitled to his opinion. He has more Christmas spirit than this bum.
I'm sitting right here.
And you shouldn't be. You're a disgrace to that uniform. And you know what? No more kids for you.
What?
Everyone, you can all go home. No more Santa for you. He is not worth it. Oh, you tell him, Chief.
If there was like a logical buildup to a feud with Santa that had been happening throughout the movie up to that point, it may have made sense, but it didn't, so it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, the worst part is that they want so badly to make the money. Yeah. And then they intentionally make the decision to lose their job, like, repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just don't, yeah. So there was kind of like a soap opera, like, blocking and line reading going on where...
Yeah.
Where they were getting ready. I always felt this way about Gilmore Girls too. Like they're waiting for their turn to speak rather than letting the other person. It didn't feel like a natural flow to me, so that could have been worse acting too. But then he decides for the entire group, not privy to the conversation, that they can't see Santa and that he's not worth it, and that they're going to believe that, and that like it's just totally unnatural. Terrible scene that I hated.
Yeah, very terrible.
I don't think there was a single scene in the movie that I enjoyed.
No.
Let's throw it to number 2. This is Test Driver.
My test driver. I was starting to think you'd forgotten about me.
I know. I'm very sorry, sir.
You don't have it, do you?
No, sir, not all of it.
I should have known.
But I tried. I really did. And we all got jobs, and I earned most of the money, but... those people needed the tire. And I tried to get them to order the family special, but they all wanted a la carte, and you know how that adds up.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You are one weird kid.
I've heard that, sir. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. $39.94.
Is that it?
I'll have the rest next month. And if you could break my legs, or maybe one leg.
Skip it, you're done.
I am?
Yeah, Merry Ho-Ho and all that. You know, spirit of the season.
Merry Ho-Ho.
Yeah, Merry Ho-Ho.
The dealer had no idea about the tire. No one did. That was a singular experience he had within his head when he saw the kid sit on Santa's lap and ask for a tire. Then he walked by the alley like 30 minutes later and then saw the reason why the kid needed the tire. He didn't discuss it with anybody. He didn't talk about it with his mom or dad even.
No.
Then he uses the tire that no one else knows about to explain why he fell short on his budget of $85 to the guy whose car he destroyed.
But they didn't entertain it any further. It just didn't need to exist.
Couldn't agree more. And he took them Chinese.
Yeah. Throwback to the old movie,
carte,
right?
apparently.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, number
1, Daddy.
If this doesn't piss you off, because this is how did you put it last time? Stilting?
Yeah.
This
Stilted.
is like this is the dialogue stilting of legend. And it's just it's abhorrent. But anyway, let it play. This is To Serve.
Every Christmas, downtown Homan was transformed into a sea of humanity. Motley hordes of blue-jowled foundry workers and gray-faced refinery men trudging through wildly pulsing department stores, trailed by millions of leatherette-jacketed, high-topped, mufflered kids, each with a gnawing hunger to get it all. And there we were, in the heart of the action. We landed on the beachhead known as the Personnel Department, and there were 3 bow ties with our names on them. We were drafted and consigned uniforms without benefit of a physical. Fresh reinforcements in the trenches of retaildom, doing our part to grease the wheels of commerce. It was an honor to serve.
It's just so messy, stupid.
Uh-huh.
So, an analogy on analogy. is trying so hard to write in the style of the narration of the first movie, which at times could be too much.
Yeah, but it had a charm to it because, like, it was, even though it was told from an older perspective, like in the old movie, it was just like, he was able to channel the thoughts of the child he was representing through the narrative, at least.
Right.
Because, like,
but in a, like, 1940s radio kind of way.
Yeah.
Part of what was funny about the narration in the first one was it was as if it was a very smart child using those words.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the narrator was like using the words for the child, basically.
Yeah.
And in this one, it doesn't work that way because the character is a complete idiot. So the narration is from an author, almost like writing his book, not doing a movie, and it's just clunky and stupid. And
it's like David Foster Wallace trying to narrate Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It just doesn't fucking work.
As soon as that couple lines of dialogue there that played in the movie, I just got really. I think that's probably where I gave up the first time. I didn't tell you this, but I tried watching this movie like last year, just because, and I turned it off halfway through, which is it's got to be really bad for me to not.
You did mention that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This time I was like, we're gonna do it for the pod. Let's do it. You guys agreed. We got all the way through it. At least I think you guys did. I did.
I watched it at 2x and it was still not fast enough.
Hardly, and yes, same.
I think that might have been about the point where I turned it off last time, though, because I just got pissed again.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep it moving. This is test number 5, the worst production.
Oh my God!
When a studio puts out a production this bad, they're dead meat.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All right, my worst production tagline is Facepalm Slapstick. So I'll start by saying that this sequel doesn't need to exist, as we all know. And the original did basically all the same gags. And it pains me to say this, but they did it better. And the ones that are new are terrible and all slapstick. Yeah. Albeit not good or funny slapstick.
No.
I mean, watch the original if you want to like get an idea of the story. Don't waste your time with this one. I wish I had not. And I'm gonna say this now and probably again. I don't like the original that much either. It's just.
All right.
Okay,
it's just,
that was one that I watched with my grandparents when I was, single digits over and over again. So it's one of those that holds a special place in my heart. I'm not huge on that time period for movies. It just makes me uncomfortable. But this one doesn't because I'm just so comfortable with it. Because
I want to say Ralphie's acting in the original is painful.
Yeah.
It
but
can be.
Everyone else is decent in the original. I'll have to say
The old man is
a good
great.
job. Yeah.
When it comes to the first one, I'll get into it in the catch-all, but it's what isn't said. There's a lot of things that are implied in the first Christmas Story that make it like a timeless movie that this movie has none of.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's throw it to test number 6, the worst acting.
More clips. Yay.
Do you even know how to act?
How can you act like that?
Shut up!
It's the worst acting.
All right, here's number
1.
Second car.
Oh, the old man was a veritable cliche repository, never hesitating to haul out one of life's tired truisms for our edification.
You know what they say? If you don't ask, you don't dance. You know what they say? Every dog has his day. You know what they say? If anything can go wrong, it will.
And one that I beg to differ with. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Fortunately, I had the advantage of experience. I already knew that planting seeds into one's subconscious was a delicate operation indeed.
You know, I heard that 31% of American households had second cars.
Careful. Don't tip your hand.
Not that we need one. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, we are living in prosperous times, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Country's on a roll. You know what they say? Sky's the limit.
Coach got Mikey Whitland eating his boogers and jam.
Still.
Yeah.
Hey, number 2. Or number...
No words.
2.
Go on.
Please. Thank goodness.
Navy.
Chin up, buddy. We're right here with you. Yeah, great. Took your heads off, too.
Maybe we shouldn't get involved. You know, it's a family matter and all.
There's no choice, Ralph. There's tons of choices. I could lay low at your house for a couple of months. Or I will join the Navy. I could join the Navy. Or I can change my name and grow a beard. Maybe not now, but soon. Or I can't feel my legs.
That's not easy.
He's like, I could join the Navy. I'll join the Navy. I could grow a beard. Oh no, well, I can't grow a beard just yet, but I can't feel my legs. Only, I think just now, when I, as nonchalantly as possible, delivered that line, might have delivered it better. There was a comedy beat there somewhere hidden under his bad acting. It might have gotten a chuckle from half of the audience if it was delivered properly, but it was delivered so poorly that I don't think a single person laughed at that moment or any other. Here is number 3. This guy is especially bad. He's just a very, very, very small part, but I had to include him. This is Every Dime.
Dang.
Not her. Anyone but her. If she sees me dressed like this, I might as well move to the North Pole. I'll die alone on some ice floe, the world's only virgin reindeer. Please, no. One glimpse of me and I'll go right from she doesn't know I'm alive to stay away from me, you.
Oh, you again, eh? Get out of here. You lousy cotton-tailed klutz. I spent all day getting that.
Sorry, I'll pick it up.
You bet your butt you will. Every dime.
Yes, sir.
Every dime.
What's wrong with that, Chris?
Well, the jingle joust to begin. I don't understand why they were having like a bell ring competition in the beginning.
No,
and then the guy,
agreed.
the guy going ding when his bell doesn't work was why would he ever do that? He would never do that. And then the voice actor is really bad. And I noticed that Rob had a little moment of fury when he said virgin reindeer, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's other virgin reindeer out there, but whatever. I don't know. It was just all weird and bad. And that guy at the end, like, you're going to get every dime.
Plus, virgin compared to just going on a date is not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's offensive, actually. Is he saying Drusilla's going to give it away? First date?
So he thinks, right?
I guess.
It's exceptionally offensive when you think about what he has to offer, which is less than nothing, because he's a piece of shit and a loser with stupid hair, stupid glasses, and a shitty attitude towards life. And he takes advantage of his friends. Fuck Ralphie, dude. I don't like teenage Ralphie.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. I was going to add to that, but I can't. Number 4. This is Lucky Buck.
Yeah.
What's in the pocket, Schwartz? Nothing. Schwartzy, you can't have my Lucky Buck. Your what? My Lucky Buck. I got it from Grandpa Maury. And I still remember the look on his face when he gave it to me. Who cares? Your best friend's gonna do time. You don't understand. This buck turned everything around for me. That first time that I held it in my hand, I knew that I'd always come out on top. If I lose it, my whole world will fall apart. You're right. Forget it. It's not worth it. Not if it means that much to him.
Wait a minute. I've never seen it before. When exactly did you get it?
The second night of Hanukkah? What year? Last Tuesday?
That's not a year.
I got this tie, too. Guys, that tickles. No, not my lucky
Say 85. South Park did it better with the Jew gold.
Yes.
The fact that Kyle had it at the,
then he had the decoy bag of Jew gold in front of the real bag of Jew gold. Anywho, yeah, lucky buck.
Why keep $1? Not that we ever thought that the threat of prison was a real threat, like as the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the kids did. Why keep the $1? What's $1 worth to you?
Yeah.
I didn't understand it at all. All right, that's what we have for clips today. I'm sorry you had to suffer through that, but so did we. So, we did this for you, the avid listener.
Yes.
You're welcome. Let's go to fact or no fact. Bob's gonna give you a
Rob, you ever thought about?
In fact or no fact?
All right, so this movie was a cash grab. So I called it, instead of a Christmas Story, I called it Business Glory.
All right. I like it.
Because, my goodness, what a cash grab this was. So, this movie, when researching on the internet, had nothing to offer in terms of actual facts. So, I had to dig into one of the actors who actually did have a history as Daniel Stern.
Yes.
So, this fact or no fact is actually about Daniel Stern.
Oh,
So I'm going to say 5 things about Daniel Stern. 1 of them is a lie, and 4 of them are facts. Here we go.
Okay.
Daniel Stern never finished high school.
Right.
Okay. Daniel Stern specializes currently in bronze sculpture.
Huh.
All right. 3rd, Daniel Stern did voiceover work for a TV show that was inspired heavily by the original Christmas Story.
Right.
4th, Daniel Stern was the original choice to play Herman in Judge Dredd, but the role was given to Rob Schneider instead. And 5th, Daniel Stern was offered the role of Dale in King of the Hill, but he wanted too much money and was replaced.
Oh.
He would make a good Dale. Well, see, so he never finished high school. I mean, that's in line with his MO as the Sticky Bandit and the Wet Bandit.
True.
So, I mean, they say art imitates life. So if there's a kernel of truth in his upbringing, then he was born to play that part. But then he was also in Bushwhacked, which let's not talk about that.
Oh God.
He specializes in bronze sculpture. See, this seems like a misdirect, but the guys that are like bad slapstick actors are often extremely talented in very weird niche like subculture for some reason. So I believe it. I believe that. Like even Jim Carrey, who's like, he's proven himself to be like a really great method actor. He's like really into fine art, and you wouldn't gather that from like watching The Mask,
No, you wouldn't.
He does voiceover work for a TV show inspired by the original Christmas Story. I never heard of that. I'm gonna leave number 3. I think that might be my guess. He was choice for Herman and Judge Dredd. There's a lot of crossover between Schneider and Stern because they're both kind of like, like I mean, they're the same guy basically. In many ways.
Bill Simmons would say that Rob Schneider market corrected Daniel Stern.
Yes. And Daniel Stern was offered Dale from King of the Hill, but he asked for too much. That's believable because like people think like voice actors make a shitload of money. They don't really. And he was coming off of like Home Alone 2 fame because King of the Hill came out like 97, 98. And like Home Alone 2 was like 94. So like he was like a big deal to an extent. And then he started doing like, moves like Bushwhacked, like I just mentioned previously.
Right.
So like he was going through his like Rob Schneider arc where like you deeper, 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 deep, and all these like summer blockbusters that went straight to like the Walmart bargain bin. So I could see that. I could see him asking for a disproportionate amount based on his talent alone, but rather his name.
Rob,
yeah.
I just heard in my head, Daniel Stern is a celery.
Deeper, deep. I'm gonna say he did voiceover work for a TV show inspired by the original Christmas Story because not that I've been actively looking for such a thing ever, or not that I've been actively following Daniel Stern's career. I don't know. That one seems like the sore thumb. So I'm gonna say that one's the lie.
All right, so you're going number 3. I'll go number 4. Keep things short and sweet.
All right.
All right. So obviously you're not my age, because we all know at my age that Daniel Stern was the voiceover actor for the show Wonder Years, which was heavily inspired by the original Christmas Story.
I didn't realize that it was him. I thought it was
that was him.
Huh,
Yeah, that was him.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. And that
So
was
bad for me.
His claim to fame in my generation.
All right.
He also never finished high school. He also specializes in bronze sculpture, and he was offered the role of Dale in King of the Hill. The person who was yes, Chris, you won. The person who was offered, yes, Chris won. The person who was offered the choice of Herman in Judge Dredd was actually Joe Pesci.
Oh, weird.
And the role was given to Rock.
The other wet bandit. Okay. Chris, if you had a soundboard with applause, which I think you did, we did not hear that.
Oh, you haven't on my soundboard. Hold on.
That.
Wait a second. Hold on. Is there?
We need one of many things. We need a soundboard with applause and things of that nature. We also need the sound bites that didn't make bumpers.
There we go.
We need the sound bites that didn't make bumpers from Miami Connection and Hawaiian. What's that called again?
Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Hard Ticket to
Hawaii. Yes. All the sound bites didn't make it to that on the soundboard.
Yes.
Chris wins.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, Chris won.
Cool.
All right. Let me bake in my glory a bit. Okay,
all right. So it's time for the catch-all. Right.
All right. Yeah.
Oh my God!
It appears that we've caught everything.
Oh my God!
It's all over.
Oh my God!
Let's all go home.
Oh my God!
All right.
All right. I'll go first. Awful soundtrack.
Yes.
Just awful.
Yeah.
Like the last clip that we heard, once you're supposed to realize that Schwartz is up to something mischievous, they do the like sound that's supposed to clue you in, and work you into that. And it sounds awful. It's like a reverse Christmas tune. And it just sounds, I don't know, childish. There's a lot of childish like dings and dongs and bells and whistles and stuff.
Yeah.
And it all sounds like shit to me.
Okay, speaking of childish, the kids' age gap doesn't make sense. Like they were no more, Ralphie and his brother were no more than 3 years apart in the first movie. And Ralphie
that's
was,
a really good point.
I want to say Ralphie was 10 in the first movie, maybe 9.
Yeah.
And so his brother was 6 or 7. And so we're supposed to believe that when Ralphie's 15, his brother's 12 and being treated and acting like he was, I really doubt it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It bothered me the whole time.
Yeah, that's really
good. Walking into an open car on a dealership is like misdemeanor vandalism at best.
Honestly,
it's not breaking and entering because the car door was open. They were like, it was in broad daylight. They weren't like, if you consider intent like if you explain to a police officer I was excited about this car that I hope to afford one day, and I just wanted to sit in it, like you might like do like a night in a holding cell, and you're like under your parents' guidance, going like, yeah, let him spend the night in jail to teach him a lesson, like in the 40s, you know. But like they wouldn't slap cuffs on the kid. Are you fucking kidding me?
No
chance.
Yeah.
If Daniel Stern is your big get in 2012, you're in trouble.
They couldn't get Jamie Kennedy.
He was the only billed actor before the title in the intro.
Oh, that's
unbelievable.
Yeah, like they were extremely proud to have Daniel Stern in 2012.
Could it be like maybe he's like a Kelsey Grammer or like even like Jim Parsons who played Sheldon on Big Bang Theory? Like they both have like Broadway chops. And could you imagine if Daniel Stern was like just like a stage titan of the ages that we just didn't know about?
Well, he was a stage actor, but not famously. Let's just say he was like more of a high school local theater stage actor.
Yeah, many actors were.
Like he played the Christmas tree in like the play about the Christmas tree and didn't have any spoken dialogue. It was just his face sticking out of a little hole.
No, but that's funny. That's way funnier than reality, so I'll take it. I'm gonna say overuse of son of a bitch is annoying and forced.
Yeah, absolutely.
The beginning especially.
So I don't think they announced the year this was set, and I know they take place in the 40s, both the original and the sequel. But running with that logic, not knowing whether it was like 1941 or like 1948, like
they worked very hard to avoid the year
because nothing made sense. Because like, all right, I'll get more into this on a later point, but every working class American is coming out of what would have financially crippled every working class family, an event known as the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And it just the level of consumerism and like cars flying off the lot and people like really just spending like their fucking money at the department store. I didn't buy it, you know? I think people would in that socioeconomic bracket would still be kind of like downplaying Christmas just a little bit. Just
like
because,
everybody would be his father.
Yeah.
Like penny pinching.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which he's not anyway, because he ends up buying the car.
Yeah.
Like in the first movie when he's a penny pinching piece of shit, he still loves his kids and gets the rifle, which is like probably a $10 rifle, which was expensive then.
Like he probably
like a hundreds of dollar car, you know.
He probably like put off buying like new work boots he needed like in the meantime to like buy his son that gift. And like they don't say that expressly, but like you could kind of like put two and two together and be like, oh, this is like he's a working class guy who's like fucking stretched to the max and he bought an extra present for his kid.
Yeah. You know? I thought there was far too much narration.
Yeah.
The first movie lets it breathe, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like this is just so heavily blanketed in narration that the movie it feels like it's more about that. It's not it's not to help the movie along and give you some exposition. It's more like the number one feature of the movie, which it shouldn't be.
It was like surrogate dialogue to a point.
I'm gonna say this. The original was based on vignettes written by a guy who originally told the stories over radio. So it made more sense to have more narration. This one was completely inspired by that, but not at all authorized or written by the same guy. The guy died 12, 13 years before this even came out.
Yeah.
So
it's clearly not the same voice.
It's not the same guy. It's not the same. As a matter of fact, the guy that wrote the original actually voiced the original.
Oh, that's
so. Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't say I loved it, but at least it was authentic. You know.
Yeah.
It was a product of its time and place, and like it was two disparate sources making something new, like through a new medium. So like that's
But
admirable.
I think I even said this on the group chat. Like, how are you going to find dialogue when there's this much narration? Like, there's just too much. I agree with you, Chris.
Yeah, way
100%. I'm gonna say overacting on all fronts.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like just too much overacting. Every single character overacted. There was nothing that was organic or even realistic.
I feel like the soundtrack overacted too. I kind of already said it, but
Yeah. I agree.
All the unnecessary callbacks, the lips and the vacuum hose, they use the fudge line, like the mother of all swear words.
Yeah.
What was the other fucking one that really pissed me off?
There were so many. There were so many.
The
Shit,
Zeppelin,
there was
even at the end.
The furnace, the whole furnace thing.
Yeah.
The furnace bugged me because that goes to Chris's point with the penny pinching. Like Daniel Stern's character is just a cheap ass. Like they have resources, but I'm not paying 40 cents a pound for this. Whereas like in the first one, it was like, all right, you're coming out of the depression. You just got out of poverty. You're in the middle class, but barely. You have a couple new things to represent, like you're reestablishing your wealth. And then at dinner, the radiator goes out, and like everybody at the table fucking knows what that is. They never like speak about it. They don't beat it to death in the original, but it's like, there goes the evening. There goes the rest of the week. Dad's gonna be fucking cussing at this thing because like that's what's gonna keep this house running. And
it was more real.
Yeah, and whereas he's like, oh, I'm gonna get a used one from this realtor, and like just the amount of effort, like going fucking ice fishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's other callbacks, but I'm drawing a blank right now because I watched the movie right before we recorded this, and my brain is still smooth.
My next one was fierce pandering, so I'm going to go to treat the gas like your wife and the clutch like your mother-in-law, which was a joke that Daniel Stern's character made, and it pissed me off more than it made me laugh because the mother-in-law thing is tortured. And they went to that well because they can't write comedy.
They can't. And my next one is going to go for the movie, which is pains me to say so, but $85 then to fix the soft top on the convertible would be $1,385 today, which tracks, I guess.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, and automobile manufacturing, the parts are always way more expensive than like the sum of the parts. Like a new gas cap on a Volkswagen is going to cost you like $200, whereas like when you break it down by parts,
if it's not available locally, like if you have to get it from overseas,
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like $16 on the dollar from like 19 whatever year it was to today. So yeah.
So that's where they put all their resources and research into.
Yes.
Ralph riding a like fixed gear bike across a frozen lake.
Yeah.
And like considering like what they were going for with the over the top slapstick, they missed the opportunity of him just fucking biting it and just like sliding across the ice and like getting his leg caught in the hole, like bending forward at the knee and like just screaming while his dad's like, "What the fuck did you just do? You ruined Christmas."
There's a fish on his shoe, and that's what they eat.
Yeah. So missed opportunity.
Yeah. The car guy who had the soft top ripped by a reindeer would have called his father. Like he's afraid to tell his dad about the whole incident, but more about asking for the money. The dad has no idea what happened because the car guy didn't call him. The car guy knows full well who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have a phone at this point.
Yeah.
No, they have a phone.
They should, right?
They have a phone.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of the old man, which I think the rest of my facts deal with, a simple no to the plumber would have sufficed. Not like throwing him out of the house.
Yes.
And then why drop his tools on his feet? What a dick move that was, you know?
That is a dick move.
Yeah. So many opportunities missed when calling back to the original film. Like there was a I think it was because of budget reasons, like having a school set, having like a schoolyard set, having anything that's like not just in like their living room or in that one department store. But like there were so many through lines in the original one that like could have been used in this, like, you know, bullying in high school. Because like when Ralphie beats the shit out of Farkas or whatever his name is, like, dude, like, as a kid watching that, you're like, yeah, dude, the fucking nerd just like pounded the fuck out of that kid, and it was so satisfying. And yeah, there's missed opportunities all around. Like, they could have had other through lines. His friends couldn't have been like such fucking wieners. They could have been like more. They were the same character. It was like normally people have composite characters where it's like one person embodies like 3 or 4 people in a story just to make the narrative easier. But these were like the opposite of that, where there were 2 people basically playing the same person, which, yeah. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I'm really mad.
No, we agree.
No, but you're right. I thought a kid movie Noose was a little dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dark.
Yeah.
There was darkness.
Oh.
I want to say no department store job is that difficult, nor is how they filmed it funny in any way.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
not. Not at all. Go.
Chinese restaurant callback, which like
yes.
they could have done better with that.
That's why. That's the whole reason they did that.
Yeah, it is. It's the whole reason.
No Bowser-Hari though, so
that's true. he's smiling at me.
Yeah.
I already said, but every character in this movie is entirely different from the first. So I will say the old man is obsessive about turkey in the first.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
I don't care that it's 40 cents a pound. He would have bought it.
He would have
He's
bought it.
obsessive about it.
100%.
He would have sold like the spare tire to like get the turkey, and then like when the car breaks down, he's like, "Shit," you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of the old man, he's fishing, and his wife comes out, and she catches the fish, and then she says, "Is this the net?" Like not knowing what a net is.
Yeah. Oh god, that pissed me off.
What a major groan that was.
Yeah, it was.
How did she get to and from the lake so fast if they're still a 1-car family? And he probably had the only car to take himself to the lake.
Good point.
Rafi's bike.
His mother just like ding ding. Fuck this movie.
They would never hire all 3 kids at the same department store.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of them went in for an interview and they hired all 3 of them together. That's
different. Yeah, different times. I don't know. That could track.
Seasonal help, so maybe.
Yeah,
okay, well then
maybe.
fine. They wouldn't all be working in the mail room together.
Yeah, true. They wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't like shadow each other's position throughout the entire arc of that.
No, that's what happened to the mailroom employees.
Yeah.
I don't know your upbringing, but this is very Three Stooges like. Like they all get hired in the same department at the same time.
Yeah, that is.
And I want to say they were going for that same feel.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, they missed the mark tremendously.
They missed the mark, yes.
They did.
And I'm gonna say, oh come on, the girl and the car and the debt and the job.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. When they were doing like the Salvation Army like bell ringing, and the guy stole $5 from the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just aesthetically speaking, the guy had like the freaking high and tight haircut. He looked military. It didn't seem like, I don't know, in the 40s and 50s, like if you fought in World War II, like you were an honorable man, you know? And that guy was just a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, if you can get big and muscly like he was too, like you
Yeah,
right. He was totally.
Yeah. Hey, wasn't it hilarious when Schwartz wrapped the baby? Wasn't that super funny?
I almost spit.
It's almost like we saw it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
All right. My last one, because I have nothing else, even though Chris has 20 more. Nostalgia is better left as nostalgia.
Agreed. Should never have touched it.
I'm just going to look up something really quick for my last point. Bear with me 1 second. I should have looked this up ahead of time.
I love this.
All right. Okay, it was direct to video, so there is no budgetary information. Never mind. I'm assuming it did poorly. Let's go to reception. The critical reception. There is not the financials, at least on Wikipedia, are not even out.
I would love to know. But
Yeah,
I doubt it. Yeah, right.
yeah, that's it. We don't. They're hiding something. Chris.
Oh my god, I couldn't find anything on this movie.
Bob, to your point, I wrote forced hijinks and unfunny physical comedy. Ralphie isn't supposed to be a moron, although I already said that the characters are different. He wasn't supposed to be an idiot. Like, how can he be such a brilliant narrator if that's what you want, and for him to be such an idiot?
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't work. Mom would never let Randy go ice fishing. In the first movie, it's really funny when she's wrapping him up so much that he can't put his arms down because she's afraid of him getting a cold or getting sick or whatever. And she lets him go ice fishing in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Does the old man have a job? Because it's like days of him just going ice fishing.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point, Chris. Because like he in the first one, like it's been a while since I've seen the first one, but like he was clearly a working class fellow, whereas Daniel
he
Stern
comes
is just,
home
like,
from work.
just loafing
A
around.
couple times.
Yeah.
Now I already said that. Yep, it said that. They need to be elves. It's an emergency because all the elves were fired for starting a union. They emergency fired all the elves for starting a union.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they fired these guys too. So now they have nobody. Like nothing.
Nobody in the mail room guy, no Santa, no elves, nothing.
Yeah.
Can't just be that fire happy.
Exactly.
Isn't the oral agony of an adolescent hilarious?
Oh, the dentist. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. Like the guy's just like a sadistic dentist and drilling into Randy's mouth, and Randy is just like like screaming and waving his hands, and you can see his silhouette like being tortured, and we're supposed to find that funny. Wasn't funny at all.
That's not funny.
No. All right, here's a good one. He wouldn't splurge $3 for the turkey, she said.
Mm-hmm.
She used the figure $3.
Yeah, right.
It was 40 cents a pound. That means it was a 7.5 pound turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 7.5 pound turkey. The thing he had in his hands was like easily a 20 pound turkey, though. He had it in his arms.
7.5 pounds. That's like rotisserie chicken size, right? Or like roughly a little bit on rotisserie chicken. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Like it would have been in his hands like this, not in his arms like a giant watermelon. You know.
Yeah.
There are other places to get jobs. I don't understand why he's going back to the one place that he had a job at to beg for it back. Go find another place to get a job.
That's the accounts payable department of the studio going, we can't afford another location.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Fish for Christmas Eve, fine, but then what's for dinner on Christmas? Because the next day they make like turkey hash and turkey ham. Turkey ham.
Right.
I don't know what turkey ham is, but they make like turkey soup and shit.
Right.
Ralph got no gift from Aunt Clara. She just sends one boy something. My last one is Bob. You already said it, but he gets the car. He gets the girl. Really?
Yeah.
It's too much.
He's allowed to drive illegally around the block just once, even though in the scene before, the narrator said he failed his driver's exam 4 times before he got the freedom of like being fully autonomous with his car.
Right.
So he's recklessly endangering his love interest, having been behind the wheel like once or twice in his young adult life.
I did it too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I used to drive my girlfriend back home all the time without a permit.
Ah. Well,
yeah,
you made it.
You
made
dumb.
it.
Yeah. All right, you want to throw it to what we're watching?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I got a letter for you.
A letter?
Yeah, it's a letter that talks about all the things we're watching now.
Give me the letter. Give me the damn letter now. Give me the letter.
You can have
Give me the letter now.
Get it. Grab it.
Give me the letter
Try again.
now.
Oh my God!
Give me my father.
Oh, who wants to go first?
You want to go first? It's your bit.
Sure. Okay, so.
Oh,
you said Rob, not Bob.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You got momentum. Go for it, Bob.
Momentum, sure.
Yeah.
So I finally, so there's a movie. It came out in 1990, so yeah, nowhere near like recent. But it was called Nikita, when made in France, I think. But it was released in the States years later as La Femme Nikita, which was renamed as La Femme Nikita, and then it was remade as Little Nikita with Bridget Fonda, and then it was made into a miniseries called La Femme Nikita, and none of which were as good as the original. The original was so good. It was it was a film from '90, written and directed by Luc Besson, who also did the Leon, the Professional.
Oh,
Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to see that in the theater when I was in college. At that time, it was just called The Professional.
Yeah.
And I knew I loved it right away. I'm like, this movie is amazing. And now, 30 years later, I'm watching Nikita and thinking what perfection it is. It's just the characterization of a completely insane female character who's like an anarchist and I don't know, just a complete drug addict, whatever, who is reformed to be a assassin for the government.
Love it.
And it's just, God, it's so good. Good luck finding a copy that is in French and subtitled, because I had a hell of a time finding one, but it's out there. I want to say it might be on Prime, maybe.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely look.
Anyway, go watch it. It's fucking awesome. It's a 5-star for me.
I trust you.
I trust you. So this is a couple weeks back. Scavenger's Reign on Max. It's a Titmouse production, which is like they're associated with Adult Swim typically, and like a lot of the Adult Swim stuff on Max lately. I think they're probably from the Warner Discovery merge or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was an 8-minute short on Adult Swim called Scavengers, and they turned it into a full series called Scavenger's Reign. It's an animated sci-fi series about this spacecraft called the Demeter that crashes on this planet called Vesta, and is basically following the stories of 3 different groups of people who crash landed in different areas, and they're trying to get back to the Demeter, where like the rest of the crew's like cryo frozen, and they're at odds with each other, whether they know it or not. But what's cool about it is the creatures, all the alien creatures, are like indifferent to their existence. It's just like they got dropped into like the middle of the Amazon, and like nature's doing what nature does, and like they're trying to figure out how to grapple with nature, and like the animations is it's sick, dude. Like there's these weird like pods that like blow these bubbles, and like the jaded captain, like he has to like go down this canyon, and he just like sighs and like reaches up and grabs one of the bubble creatures and like slowly like lowers himself down to like where he needs to be, and just like lets the animal go and just keeps walking. Like it's not a comedy, but it's like it's probably some of the best sci-fi I've seen in like 10 years, but it's like Adult Swim animated, almost borderline anime looking, but it's I think there's 8 episodes or 12 episodes on the first season.
Nice.
I watched it all in like two goes. It was fucking amazing. It's
nice.
If you like sci-fi and like you like animated sci-fi, it's definitely worth a watch. You can get through the whole thing in like an afternoon. There's only 1 season out.
Awesome.
I like it. All right, I've got 3 real quick ones. Beard Meets Food, the YouTube channel. If you haven't seen this, awesome. It's this like British dude who has a giant beard, and he just like eats giant things, like
the food challenges. Yeah,
food challenges. And
I watch a lot of competitive eaters.
Yeah. His banter's really good. He's just cool. And what I'm not watching, I'm reading The Trouble with Peace, the second book in a series called The Age of Madness by Joe Abercrombie. He's really good. I just found it at the library. Because we take my 2-year-old there sometimes when my 5-year-old is at school. So that book series is great. And I just got Jedi Survivor, the video game, for my gamers out there, and I'm playing that. It's the second in the series of Fallen Order was the first one. And that game is like Star Wars meets Dark Souls. It's really hard.
All right.
And the second one's not as hard so far, but it's really good. And that's what I'm doing. So check those things out if you like to read, if you like to play games, if you like to watch YouTube. Those are my suggestions.
Fuck yeah.
You guys good? You want to throw it to back credit names?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for bad credit names. Let's do it.
Cool.
Jeff, this is my friend John.
Oh, Jeff, heard a lot of good things about you. Where'd you find this son of a bitch?
He's a friend of mine from school.
A friend?
Jeff, John.
Oh, Jeff, John.
Jeff, how can you act
Jeff,
like
Jeff.
that? Jeff.
Shut up!
Jeff, John. John.
I credit names.
My friend Jeff. I don't know where this came from. Maybe it's like in a movie or something, but he goes, "My name's Jeff," and I just think it's funny, and that's kind of a call to that. That's fun over there. Anyway, check this out. The first name of 4 is Niall Fraser.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Been better last week, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no kidding. Number 2 is Murray Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Murray Forward. Files Wiccan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Files is a pretty crazy name.
Yeah.
And I know I'm mispronouncing this. I'm doing it on purpose. So McLean.
Mm.
It's definitely Sue, and it's SOO McLean. Just thought that was awesome. All right, that's what I've got. Let's throw it to the offensive minigame.
Oh yeah.
If you can say,
My mother was Korean,
and also,
and my father was Black American.
you may be part of our offensive minigame.
Padding perfumed protuberances, or B and E at your best buds. Which one do you go with?
The protuberances.
Yeah.
I say copping a feel off a stranger in a public setting's probably not a good look.
In a molesty fashion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heavyset hilarity or Black Irish jokes.
Oh, I'm gonna say. Oh shit, that's a tie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let one of you pick this one out.
I guess Black Irish, because I mean, fat humor can land when it lands, and it just didn't in this context.
It did not.
Because like Al Bundy was a shoe salesman who hated fat women, and he fucking killed it every time, and married with children. So
that was the I want to say that was the impetus for the shoe jokes in this movie.
Yeah,
was Al Bundy.
Oh, she put the heels on, Peg, and she struck oil. It could have fucking worked. It could have worked.
All right, here's the bonus. Selling nukes and chemical weapons. I had to go hard.
Yeah.
Or regrettable recasting.
Recasting.
Yeah,
definitely recasting.
Agreed. Okay, that makes this more offensive. All right, let's throw it to the movie comparison.
Cool.
Oh my god!
It's time to compare the movies. Something we haven't done since.
Oh my god!
1962.
Money, guys. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah. You're wondering what I'm doing off screen. I'm going for a live look at our poll.
All right.
Is it still up? I don't think it is. Shit. We have a lot of notifications, though, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing well on social media. All right. I know who won for next week, but I will reveal that in a moment. For now, Money Plane versus Christmas Story 2.
Okay.
Based on your tone, I know who won based on your tone, but go ahead.
Chris! Money Plane versus Christmas Story 2, worst of its kind, negative 11.4, and not worst, very strangely, for Money Plane, but this is science, not opinion. Negative 70.4 and worst for Christmas Story 2, a clear winner.
Yes.
Pitch, I wrote fuck, I don't remember, and I couldn't find the notebook that I had last week's information in. Do you remember? I think it was Bob with a 4-star.
Well, Bob had a 5 this time, and so that
so it doesn't
means,
matter. Bob wins anyway. Offensive. This movie's more offensive. We just decided, and I actually think the dialogue's even worse on Christmas Story 2. What do you think?
Yeah. Dialogue is yes.
Like Money Plane was rife with cliche, but like it was like somewhat believable.
Yeah.
Whereas Christmas Story 2 was just a turd on a typewriter.
They just roll the turd back and forth over the typewriter. Production low budget, but not for Money Plane, and Facepalm Slapstick for Christmas Story 2.
Facepalm Slapstick.
See, I'm going low budget.
Yeah, I actually am too. I get it
All right.
though. It's close. It's
Well,
close.
my logic behind it is and Bob, you brought this point up in the past. Bad comedy is just so much fucking worse than bad like drama or suspense.
Yeah,
You're right. It is worse. You're right. You're right.
Speaking of worse, acting, Money Plane or Christmas Story?
Money Plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kelsey Grammer actually knows how to act, and he did not do any of it in Money Plane. So, as the most well-known,
he was the best actor in that movie, and
he wasn't good.
He wasn't even that good. Yeah.
No, neither was Daniel Stern, but I think the lead actor in Money Plane edges it out.
Yeah.
I don't think we gave Money Plane a demerit because it was the first of the season.
No, we did not. You're right.
Money Plane.
Money Plane as a whole a demerit. Or...
Yes, that's.
Yeah, it doesn't ultimately matter. What's the demerit for Christmas Story 2? Because that's going to carry.
Slapstick.
Just poor lip service, I would say, because I think without looking it up,
pandering.
Yeah, because by definition, lip service is like when you're paying homage to something, but like you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and you're not really doing it well either.
I like lip service. That works.
Just bad lip service.
And bad lip service is worse than Money Plane?
I agree.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so 5-2. The worst of the season is Christmas Story 2, with an opening salvo of negative 70.4, and worse, it's going to be very hard to beat, at least in that department. Next week, we are watching Godzilla, the Matthew Broderick one. This time I put Broderick in the title because I wanted people to know which one, because I thought they weren't voting for it. The 12 times I put it on the poll, because they don't know which Godzilla.
The one of the new ones, Godzilla -1, is on the top 15 of a lot of people's lists of good movies.
It's in the running for an Oscar, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was
something
really
like that.
It's on my list. I have to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
Too.
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Rob, plug us and then send it to Bob's Last Word. Thank you very much for listening.
www.theworstmovieevermade.com. You can find us on the streaming apps for your podcast. You can find us on YouTube every Sunday. We're on Instagram and TikTok where we do polls, as we just heard, to find out what movie we're watching next week. Bob does trailers that go up in line with every episode we're releasing, and you can email us as well. That's www.theworstmovieevermade.com. It's a little link tree page. You just click the links, and then it takes you to the thing that you need to go to. So check it out. Last word, Bob?
Because I can't say it next week. Money Plane.
Oh, by the way, before we go, my aunt the gamer I've mentioned before, she got a movie for us to check out. I'll send you the information and we'll throw it up on a poll at least.
Okay.
For her sake, she didn't put it in an email form, so if you're listening, sis, throw it in an email real quick and we'll have to do it.
Yeah, because he said an email is coming in. An email is coming in hot, and I have not seen it. But
put it in email form. Come on, Auntie.
Then we'll have to do it.
Go to the official channel.
All right. Well, love you all. Thank you for listening.
Ta-ta. Jazz hands.